Are you single and feeling out of the loop? Put away that mouse and get out of the house. Join In the Loop, Seattle's brand new activities club just for singles. Go to intheloopsingles.com today.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
The guy on the phone for a second date update today met a girl exactly how I do if I ever hit on a girl at a coffee shop.
Okay.
He was there.
Yeah.
He grabbed an empty coffee cup.
Yeah.
Cut a hole in the bottom of it, placed it appropriately, and then looked at her and went, "Hey, you want to try some of this coffee? It's non-fat."
That cannot be true.
Well, that's what I'm hoping he did.
No.
His email said that he met her at Starbucks, and that's just where my mind went.
The old
I'm
coffee
assuming-
cup trick.
Yeah.
Good old,
Girls love it when you do that. Cody, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Good. Please tell me that's how you met this girl at Starbucks.
You know, I've never even thought of that, but next time maybe I'll consider it.
Never fails. Never fails. Your email said that you met the girl you want to call today at Starbucks. So how did you do it if you didn't do the obvious thing and place yourself in a coffee cup?
Well, we were just standing next to each other in line, and when we went to go try to find a place to sit, we realized that there was no two tables for each of us to sit at, so there was one, and so we just kind of decided to share a table.
You were so excited when you looked around that coffee shop and saw that.
Well, I kind of saw it as a little bit of an opportunity. I mean, she was really cute.
Yeah.
So you invited her to sit at the table with you since there was nowhere else for her to sit.
Yeah, I thought it'd be, a nice thing to do.
Okay, pretty boring compared to what my idea. But everybody's got to make their own way in life, you know what I mean? So how did that go? You sat down and shared the table. Did you guys have great conversation or something? You're like, I know, I want to ask her out.
Well, I mean, it got kind of awkward at first because she pulled out her phone immediately and started, going through emails and or texting.
That's disappointing.
Did
Hey,
she?
want to share this table? Sure, I do. And then she just gets on her phone and ignores you the whole time.
Yeah, it kind of started out that way.
Do you think that she knew that you were interested immediately, or do you think that she just honestly had? I don't know. Did she honestly have work to do?
She may have just been trying to make me, work for it. So I just was trying to open up a conversation, to, not bother her or seem like I was getting in her way.
Yeah, next time that happens, the best way to do it is start reading over her shoulder what she's reading. She'll eventually put her phone down. Trust me.
You know all the tricks.
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Man.
So how did you end up finally engaging her in conversation if she was preoccupied with her phone? Smack it out of her hand?
Well, I don't know. I kind of made her laugh a little bit, and so she eventually kind of just put her phone down. It must not have been too important.
So your email says that, I mean, obviously you guys ended up going out on a date, or unless this was what you're considering your first date.
No, this was the free date, I guess you could say.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So what did you actually do on your date then?
Well, I wanted to do something a little different instead of just going to a bar. I thought it'd be fun to go, do a little driving tour around the city because there's, a lot of really great views.
Okay.
That's kind of weird. I mean, like you're going to make out points all over the place, or
I don't think makeout points have existed since the 50s.
Well, that's-
So I'm assuming that they probably weren't going there.
that's what it would feel like to me.
No, I just, wanted to go take her on to see some of the nice views, and it seemed like she would be into it.
And there wasn't like any food or any sort of restaurant or.
Well, I put most of my planning into the actual driving around. I had a little map that I could kind of follow. So I may have kind of not planned for food as much, but I did offer to go stop and, get a snack or something.
Well, that's good.
All right. And were you actually using a map, like a legit map?
Yeah, like Google Maps is what
See,
you
now
do.
you're making fun of my nephew.
This whole second date update is now throwback. There's makeout points, there's maps. And
They're in an old school convertible.
yeah.
No, yeah, I just had it on my phone.
Okay. All right. I'm picturing you driving around with this huge map over the steering wheel. Well, how did that go then?
We drove around, and at the end of the night, we just got to see this beautiful sunset.
Oh, come on. That was
right.
your moment. That was the moment you went in for a kiss, right?
Well, no.
Oh.
I was debating whether I should do it because it seemed like, that was kind of the moment, but then it was just kind of...
That is the
it didn't
worst.
seem like the right time.
That's the worst feeling ever
Yeah, dude.
when you're out with a girl and you're like, now's the moment where I have to kiss her. And then for some reason you don't do it. And then you drop her off, and the rest of the drive home, you're like,
I
why?
hate myself.
God, you're so stupid. All the signs were there. Sunset, everything.
So right.
Is that how you felt?
Pretty much, yeah.
And then if this girl likes you, I'm sure she's thinking, why didn't he do it? Like, you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
What did you say when you left her?
I said, so maybe we can do it again sometime, and then she gave me a hug.
Okay.
Ooh.
So you guys hugged. So
Not terrible, but-
you're thinking that maybe you didn't make the move in the right amount of time, and now she's like, oh, maybe he isn't really that interested in me.
I mean, it's either that or she just thinks that I'm a total wimp and I just can't pull the trigger on it.
When you're watching a sunset, here's just some advice for the future. You kiss the person next to you. I don't care if you're at a lookout point by yourself and like there's an old lady standing next to you at sunset. Sunsets are always an appropriate time to kiss. Okay? Even if you're standing there with your dad, it doesn't matter.
No, dude.
Ask Jubal's dad.
Sunsets are always kiss time.
Oh, my God.
And how many times have you tried to get a hold of her since your date?
2 or 3 times. She never answered. I left voicemails each time.
Here's the thing, though. I feel like even if you miss that moment of the kiss, if she really liked you, she'd get back to you.
Maybe because it wasn't a traditional type of date, she just wasn't into that, or that could have turned her off. I don't know.
All right. Well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
We'll do it right after this.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Cody is on the phone with us. He wants to call a girl named Sydney. They went out for a wonderful date where he took her to see all the beautiful views around the city. They drove around and looked at all these viewpoints that he had found and eventually found himself at sunset with her.
Wow.
Turned to her, they locked eyes. And then Cody proceeded to grab his downstairs mix-up, tuck it inside of his body, cry, and run away like a little girl. He couldn't go through with the kiss. Isn't that right, Cody?
Those are your words, not mine.
But yeah, Cody feels like maybe he didn't make a move on her when he should have at sunset. And he felt the tension, but he didn't actually go through with the kiss. So he's wondering if maybe she thinks that he's just kind of a little wussy boy.
Would you guys just cut that out?
Poor Cody.
All right, I'll quit piling on,
Yeah,
Cody.
Jubal's always like that.
Cody,
Sorry, man.
you were getting some good signs before this, right?
I sure thought so. Felt good to me.
Okay, cool. Well, we're going to call her right now, see if we can get her on the phone and get your second date update. Ready to go?
I'm ready.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Hello.
Hi, can I speak to Sydney, please?
Yeah, this is she.
Hey, Sydney, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Who?
Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning? Nothing?
I'm not familiar. I'm sorry. Why are you calling me?
Is this a Sydney that went out on a date with a guy named Cody a little while ago to look at views of the city?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Then you are the right Sydney. You're who I'm looking to get a hold of.
Why?
It's a great question,
Well,
Sydney.
we do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. You went out on a date with Cody, and Cody emailed us to see if we could talk to you and find out why you're not answering any of his phone calls.
Okay. That's awkward.
Did you enjoy your date with Cody?
I mean, it was definitely kind of an odd first date. I would say that.
Driving around looking at views?
Yeah. So how much do you guys actually know about the date?
Well, we talked to Cody, and he basically just told us that. He wanted to do something different and maybe romantic, so he said that he planned out a bunch of different viewpoints you could go look at.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was definitely different.
And by the way, we're on your side with that. We think it's kind of like a strange date.
I would have gotten really bored by the I mean, you give me 2 viewpoints, maybe.
Yeah.
But more than that, I'm checked out.
Exactly. He really just wanted to look at a lot of bridges. It was all about the bridges. He was really into views. He kept saying views a lot. I don't know. He was just really excited by it. And at one point, we were driving on the freeway, and he pulls over on the freeway to say, "Oh my gosh, we just have to stop and look at this view."
So you're just on the side of the freeway with cars screaming by you at 70 miles an hour?
Yes.
When he told us about this, I pictured more of like a nature thing,
Yeah,
where
me
it was
too.
like calm and
Or at
quiet.
a park. Like,
No, it was very urban.
Okay.
And then there were a couple times even where we would stop and he would have us hike under bridges to get a different view.
like you're homeless?
Like you're going under freeway overpasses?
Yes. And he just said that that was another unique view for us to enjoy together.
Weird.
The
Okay.
unique part was right.
He did tell us one
Yeah.
thing. He said that you guys eventually stumbled upon a sunset view, and he felt that there was a moment where you might have wanted a kiss, and he didn't go in for it. Was he
Well,
feeling the right vibe there, or was he... From talking to you, it sounds like you were not feeling like being kissed.
not by him.
Okay.
But you do have to give him some credit. I mean, the guy put some effort into it.
Actually, I don't know, because in my mind, it kind of actually felt like this had the potential to be romantic, but what it sort of felt like more was just that he may have been too cheap to take me on an actual date.
That's
So
kind
he was
of
trying to make
You know what?
more of these views than what was there.
When we talked to him, I didn't get the vibe like he was that scheming to be like, I'm going to take her to look at bridges and views because I want to save money. Maybe he's just got a weird thing with bridges.
Yeah.
It wasn't just bridges, though, because actually, at one point toward the end, he stopped by this house, and I was kind of weirded out, and I said, why are we at this random house? And he said, no, don't worry, I know the guy. And we went into the guy's backyard to look at yet another view, and so I was just standing in this stranger's backyard.
Is he like making it up as he goes along?
I
Like-
would have run if I were you at that point. Hey, we're going to go to this house. Don't worry. I know a guy. Don't ask questions.
Yeah, exactly. It was bizarre.
Okay. I'd love to find out if your theory is right, that he wanted to save money, so he took you on this view date. Wouldn't you at least like to know that?
Actually, I'm not concerned. I don't think I'm going to go on a second date, so.
Oh. Well, that's too bad because he's on the phone right now, and I wanted to ask him.
Yeah, hi, Sydney. It's so nice to hear your voice.
Gosh.
Cody?
Do you realize how much time I spent planning that date? I thought it'd be unique.
Well, it was
You can't
unique,
appreciate
but it was also
what I
weird.
did for you. Do you realize how much time I spent putting this date together? How many maps I consulted? I spent hours on the internet looking up places. I called people to plan this whole thing out. I spent so much time on that, and I cared about what happened, and you just blow this off?
Well, I mean, in your hours on the internet, did you not find normal restaurants to take someone to?
Did you not go to Yelp?
That's a good one.
Oh, yeah, I'm so sorry. I tried to do something original for sake instead of taking you to a bar or a stupid restaurant.
Just don't claim originality as cheap. It's obvious that you were just being cheap.
I am not cheap. I thought it would be fun.
Doesn't it sound weird when I say we went and looked at a dozen bridges? I mean, that's weird, right?
It wasn't just the bridge. It was the view off of the bridge. But if you look up from your phone, maybe you would have noticed.
Can we also mention maybe how awkward it was for me standing in some random dude's backyard? That's not a date.
Paul is not a random guy. He's a good friend of mine, and he's got a really good view from his backyard.
Wow.
Okay. Sydney, let me ask you a question. Why not just say, hey, let's go eat. Let's do something else. I don't really like doing this.
I don't know. It's the first date, and I don't know. I guess I'm a little old-fashioned. I just feel like the guy should kind of take charge of that, and if it goes poorly, then that's just a sign to me that there's not going to be a second date.
Oh, come
I have a perfect
on.
way to solve this.
No, Jubal, don't do it.
No, I'm going to do it. I have to do it. Sydney, would you like to go on a second date with Cody?
Oh, my gosh.
We will pay for you guys to go out again.
No.
All right.
Surprise.
Threw me for a loop on that one. Well, Sydney, thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming on with us. Check out the show sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will.
All right, thank you. Well, there you go, Cody. She thought your date of taking her to look at views and bridges was boring.
I'm glad I know now, because if a girl, can't appreciate the view from a side of a bridge, then, she's just not for me.
All right, yeah.
We
That's
all
what I've
have
been
our
saying for
standards.
years. If a chick can't dig a view from a bridge, kick him to the curb.
Moving 92.5, 60 seconds lead.
I was obviously joking about the whole if a chick can't appreciate the view from a bridge. But we're getting so many text messages in at 78592. They're like, this chick is dumb. Bridges are legit. I'm a photographer. I would have loved this date. Who knew so many people were into bridges? All right.
Are you single and feeling out of the loop? Put away that mouse and get out of the house. Join In the Loop, Seattle's brand new activities club just for singles. Go to intheloopsingles.com today.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
I'm pretty excited about today's second date update because from reading the description of the date on the email that we got, it sounds like we're going to be doing a second date update with one of the members of the Three Stooges.
What?
Or all three of the Stooges.
Did someone slip on a banana peel or
Kind of
something?
sounds like that. Tiffany, who is on the phone with us right now, wants to do a second date update today. She wants to call a guy named Eric. But the description of your date, Tiffany, in your email sounds like you had one of the worst experiences ever, or one of the most hilarious if you like slapstick comedy.
Oh, well, thanks, I guess. I mean, I don't know. We actually, besides those, couple little incidents, I thought had an amazing time.
Yeah. So why don't you just kind of run through the string of events that you documented in your email, and I want everybody to hear it.
Well, first of all, I was really excited to go out with Eric, and we decided to meet at a bar for happy hour, and I ended up, traffic was terrible, and so I think I was about 20 minutes late. So I got there, and I was so apologetic. I felt so bad, and then I was trying to tell him the story of what had happened, and I use my hands a lot.
Yeah.
And I accidentally hit myself in the nose and gave myself a bloody nose.
See, that's hilarious. That's what I mean by it sounds like an episode of the Three Stooges or something. You're just poking each other in the eyes and giving yourself a bloody nose.
Did you run to the bathroom?
No, because at first he noticed and I didn't notice.
Oh, no.
So you hit yourself in the nose and you're still talking to him, and then he just started to see blood trickle down your upper lip.
Yes, well, because it just wasn't it wasn't a lot at first, and then I used to get bloody noses all the time when I was a kid. So I thought he was gonna spit out his water, and I was like, "What is going on with you?" And he's like, "Your nose is bleeding." And then I was like, "Oh my God, I have a bloody nose." I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to take a napkin because it was a cloth napkin. So I just held my hand under my nose, but I wanted to finish the story.
What? You just stayed at the table?
Yeah, you continued telling the story with the bloody nose and didn't be like, "I'll be back in a minute."
Well, it was bleeding, but I was just getting to the good part, and I figured I'll just take care of it in a second.
I would have been humiliated if I got a bloody nose on a first date.
I know. I feel so dumb. What am I, 7? Talking with my hands like that, and then I gave myself a bloody nose.
Yeah,
You have
that's pretty funny.
horrible hand-eye coordination.
But it was an accident.
Well, I understand that, but there's a lot of things that I've done in my life that are accidents that are really embarrassing.
Do you punch yourself in the nose often?
Just to, if I ever need to make myself sneeze.
What?
Oh my
You punch
God.
yourself in the nose if you need to make yourself sneeze.
Tickle your
Yeah, that will make you sneeze.
Okay, I had no idea.
That is strange.
So I'm guessing that eventually you cleaned up your nose and got the date back on track.
Right. And we continued to talk and laugh for over an hour, and then it was time to go home, and he walked me to my car.
Yeah?
And so I thought oh, okay. I just figured he was going to try and kiss me, maybe. I mean, and he didn't.
You had blood all over your face.
Yeah,
Crusties all over your
the bloody
nostrils.
nose wasn't there anymore at this point, right? It was all cleaned up.
Yeah.
Okay. So he didn't go in for a kiss.
No.
How did you guys end everything? What's the
Oh my
last
God.
thing?
So then I forgot to tell you, I did feel bad about the bloody nose and being late. So I'm I'm so sorry. I feel like we had fun, and I'm I really want to do this again. I go, I'll make it up to you, and I'll pay the next time we go out.
Wow, that's tight.
What did he say to that?
He just was like, yeah, but like it was kind of like a yeah where like then I got home and I called my friend Amy and I'm like, what do you think this yeah sounds like? And she couldn't figure it out either. Like, is it a yeah like he's just tired but he was into it, or if like he was trying to be cool, or if he's not into it at all?
So, well, it's probably a yeah that he's not really into it because he hasn't been calling you back, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've texted him twice since then. And the second time, I sent a text that said, remember, I'm paying, with like a wink face.
Yeah. And nothing? He didn't respond to that?
Mm-mm. Like, I realized this was probably not a perfect date for Eric, and a lot of that was my fault, but I think in between those, like, really embarrassing moments that, like, we had a lot of fun. He seemed to be having a good time. He talked a lot. He laughed a lot. And I want a second chance, you know, like a movie.
Okay, well, we'll play a song, come back, call him, and then get your second date update, all right?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, hang on.
Brooke and Jubal in the mornings, second date update.
Call now to win a $1,000 cash crate.
1-866-MOVING-92.5.
It's
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Tiffany is on the phone with us, and today she wants to call a guy named Eric. Eric and her had a lovely first date at a bar where she physically assaulted herself at the table and gave herself a bloody nose. I guess Tiffany was talking with her hands and accidentally smacked herself in the nose and then got a bloody nose. Tiffany, are you about ready to call Eric?
Yes.
You really like this guy. Are you going to be sad if he says something mean?
I mean, besides those couple of incidents, I thought we had a lot of fun and conversation was good. And
All right. So there's really nothing that you can think of. I mean, other than punching yourself in the nose, everything seemed to go very well.
Maybe he's one of those guys that gets mad, like, if you're more than 2 seconds late or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because you did show up about 20 minutes
20
late.
minutes late.
All right, well, I'm going to dial the phone number right now, see if we can get him on the phone and get your second date update, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, here we go.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Eric, please?
Yes, speaking.
Eric, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Sorry, man. I'm not going to buy anything or whatever.
No, I'm not trying to sell you anything. I just need like 5 minutes of your time.
whoa.
He thinks that
I'm
we're
a
selling
telemarketer.
him something. I mean, kind of.
I'll dial him back.
Okay.
See if I can get him to invest in some life insurance.
Let me buy some door-to-door meat.
Two birds, one stone.
Yeah, I'm not interested in anything, okay?
No, you're going to be interested in this, I promise.
Off the list or whatever.
No, hey, I'm not a telemarketer. I actually want to help you out with something.
Look, man, I don't need help. I'm fine.
I'm not. I promise you. Don't hang up. Hey, are you still there, Eric?
Yeah, I'm still here. What
Okay,
are you...
this is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning. It's a radio show. And I'm not calling to sell you anything. I'm calling you because I got an email about you from one of our listeners.
What?
Yeah. Now are you a little interested in what I have to talk about?
I mean, not really, but what are you talking about?
You recently went on a date with a girl named Tiffany, right?
How do you know that?
Because Tiffany emailed me and asked me if I could get you on the phone and find out why you're not calling her back.
She works for the radio station?
No, she listens to the radio show and asked if we could call you to find out if she did something wrong on your date because she would like to see you again. So she's wondering why you're not getting back to her.
I mean, I don't know if I want to talk about that stuff on the radio or whatever.
Is there
If
anything?
she emailed you, she'll tell you whatever she wants. I don't really feel comfortable
Yeah,
talking
but
about.
she doesn't know. I mean, unless it's something that is your personal life and embarrassing about you, I can understand you not sharing that. But is there anything I can tell her just to give her some sort of advice?
I mean, like, talk to her about it, and you'll get a sense of why no one's going to go on another date with her.
Well, I talked to her about your date. She told us about it. She said there was an awkward moment where she accidentally hit herself in the nose, and her nose started bleeding.
Yeah, that was one of many incredible moments of the date, yeah.
Incredible, but I don't think you mean
sarcasm.
incredible like an actual good thing, right?
No, I mean it is like the most sarcastic thing possible.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you staying on the phone with me for a few minutes. If your date was that bad, don't you think it'd be nice to give her some advice so that in the future when she goes out with people, it isn't as painful as an experience as it sounds like it was?
She's just the weirdest person that I've ever gone on a date with.
That's intense.
How so?
You ever meet one of those people that just blows everything up into, like, the biggest possible deal? Like, oh, my God, the traffic was the absolute worst. Like, everything is underlined.
Yeah.
Everything is in caps lock. Everything is just 15 exclamation points. She was like, the traffic was the absolute worst traffic I've ever been in. Like, take New York traffic and take L.A. traffic and take Mexico City traffic or whatever she said, and add them all together. That's the traffic I was just in. Can you believe it? And it's like, there's no way to possibly believe that. That's ridiculous.
It seems like you didn't even give her a chance, though. I mean, if you're talking about, she just obviously felt bad about the traffic and was trying to make up for it.
I see your point, but it was with everything. It wasn't just the traffic. It was every single element of our date, every story, every, like, reading of the menu.
Whoa.
You know, like, oh, my God, they have margaritas here. Oh, my God, I love margaritas, but I want it to be the best margarita. And the margarita comes, and it wasn't just like, take a sip and like, this is pretty good. You want to try it? It's like, oh, my God. This margarita is amazing. I've never had a margarita like this before.
I've definitely been around those type of people. I know exactly the type of person you're
Yeah,
explaining.
you just pray you're not at their table, but you just hear them from the other side of the room.
But come on.
This is the most amazing, life-changing margarita you've ever had, Eric. All right.
They met a shaman on the top of the hill to, like, taste the salt of the Himalayas on the rim of the drink. No, it's a dumb drink. I tried it, and it was like, yeah, it's a margarita. It's a margarita.
Poor girl was just excited.
Yes, I've had
you
a
guys.
margarita in
Give
my
her
life.
A break. You know?
Hey, we talked to her a little bit, Eric, and I didn't get that vibe from her at all.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. She described the date as like one of the best dates she'd ever been on, and Eric was the greatest guy she'd ever met.
That's true.
Right. She kept telling, like, she had a bloody nose and, like, stayed at the table and kept telling her story and was like, and then I'm just sitting there and be like, you know, do you need something? Do you need a napkin or whatever?
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh my God, you're the greatest guy. You're just like the greatest guy. I'm like, you have blood coming out of your nose.
You're like, no, I'm not the greatest guy. I'm just a human, and I noticed somebody else with a bloody nose, and I thought I might give them something to wipe it up with. Hey, Eric, I really appreciate you giving us a little bit of information on your date, man. That's awesome.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm as exhausted now as I was after the date, just thinking about it.
Well, that was the
It feels
most.
like it's like a marathon, or like 3 marathons, or like the longest marathon in the history of the world.
Eric, I should also let you know that Tiffany is actually on the other line listening to this conversation.
What?
Oh, hi, Eric. That was really mean. I don't know why, if you were having such a bad time, first of all, that you stayed. Second of all, you were laughing and having a good time and telling stories, too. And third of all, that really was the best margarita of my life. And I'm not ashamed to share that with people.
I suggested more drinks because I was going out of my mind.
Oh, because I'm not all bitter and like, margaritas, who cares?
I was going out of my mind, and I was just praying that the next drink you would see that if that margarita actually was the greatest margarita in the world, then by default, the next drink could not be as amazing. But it was even better.
Of course it could. It's probably from the same batch. That's how they do it at restaurants.
Eric, why you gotta be so mean, right? You're telling me that you didn't have any fun at all with Tiffany. She sounds like a fun girl.
Thank you.
Yeah. I mean, like, in the, like, fleeting moments where there was just, like, a lull. Yeah, it's great. But it's like I'm sorry, you're just like, you take everything and make it into the biggest possible thing, and it's just exhausting. I can't. It's too much. It was not the speed that I go at.
Okay, so then just because apparently I'm too much for everybody, what speed do you go at? Like, what would you have wanted?
Just a normal conversation. I just want to have a normal conversation, okay? I don't want to have to feel like everything that we're talking about or everything that's been experienced is the greatest thing in the world or the worst thing in the world. I just want to have a calm, just regular, normal conversation.
That sounds like the most boring date of all time. Sorry you had such a terrible time. You didn't seem like it. And I'm sorry I was trying to have a good time and make everything fun and nice. That's a horrible thing to do when you're dating. I forgot.
Oh, my God. I mean, it's the most horrible thing you could do on a date.
Eric, do not be mean right now. Come on.
Hey, Eric, would you like to go out on a second date with Tiffany? We'll pay for a second date.
No, I'm good. I'm okay.
You sure?
No, I respectfully decline.
Okay, well, I'm going to say this. I regret even asking them to ask about a second date, and I would rather punch myself in the nose until my whole head bled out than go on another date with you.
I think,
So
you know
amazing.
what? That is a second date update
good.
first. We've had a lot of interesting endings to these things, but never somebody wanting to just beat their face in until they weren't alive anymore.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Need LASIK? Trust the experienced team at the LASIK Center at Evergreen Eye Center. No glasses, no contacts, no limits. What will you do? LASIK at evergreen.com.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
You know, when we do these second date updates, we always have dudes on the phone that are like, I got the perfect technique for how to meet ladies.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy on the phone today, his name is Sean, and all his email said was that he uses a technique called the Ben Franklin effect. Don't really know what that is, but I'm guessing that's you go to a retirement home and convince all the ladies there that you're the one who invented bifocals, and then they're super excited to meet you because now they can read things. Yeah.
Bifocals.
Wow, you invented that?
Sexy.
Hey, what's up, Sean? How are you?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Pretty
Okay.
good. I'm interested to find out what the Ben Franklin effect is. Or unless I got it right. Did I get it right?
No, it's not quite like that.
Oh,
Oh,
all right.
it's actually a kite in a lightning storm. Is that what it is?
No. You're close.
Okay.
Okay.
So you convince a woman that you are Ben Franklin's ghost and that they must sleep with you in order for you to finally be put to rest?
I mean, you are
I
founding
would say
father.
I would take that.
This is a real technique. I admit I learned it from this blog, but it's a really legit thing.
It is.
Okay.
So wait, this is the first time you tried the Ben Franklin technique?
Yeah, I mean, other people have tried it before. I didn't invent it, but yeah.
Okay, well, we'll get to what that is exactly in a second. First, let's find out about the girl you want to call today. What's her name?
Her name's Erica.
Erica. And how did you meet Erica?
We're actually in the same class together. I go to a night school at the community college.
Cool.
She sits next to me a lot of the time, and she's beautiful and really smart. And
Oh my God, do you get so excited when she actually sits next to you in class? Like, here she comes, she's going to sit by me. I don't know.
Is it middle school or college?
yeah, of course I do. And that's why I thought I could try out the Ben Franklin effect on her, because I read about it and I thought maybe this would work.
Okay.
So basically you ask a girl to do something for you, and she does it, and subconsciously she then likes you more, and she's more open to you, she's receptive to you. And Ben Franklin apparently used this with his rival inventors or something to get them to like him more.
So he'd be like, hey, can you pick up that paper I dropped? And then they would do it, and all of a sudden, subconsciously, they like him more because they did something for him?
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
So what did you ask her to do for you?
I sort of planned this out, I have to admit. But the first thing I did was I dropped a pencil in class, and I said, hey, Erica, would you mind picking that up? And she did. She picked up the pencil. All right, okay, all going according to plan.
And then you winked at her and you're like, now you want to sleep with me, don't you?
I mean, it wasn't that effective.
Oh, okay.
Pencil isn't a good analogy there.
Well, I had to stick with it, right? So then the next week, I said something like, hey, Erica, would you mind if I borrow some paper? And she was like, sure. And she ripped out a paper from her notebook and she gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The next week, I said, hey, Erica, if you happen to be at the drugstore this week, would you mind picking up some Post-it notes for me?
What? Now you're
So you
having
actually
her run
remember,
errands
you actually asked her to grab you some Post-it notes from the store.
Did you give her your grocery list the following week?
No. I mean, I actually needed some Post-it notes, but she looked at me really funny. But I said, no, I'll pay you back. And my schedule's just been crazy, but I'll pay you back. And she did it. She got me the Post-it notes, and she brought them the next week.
But don't you think, I don't know that she likes you more. Doesn't it say that she liked you to begin with if she's willing to go think of you and pick up Post-it notes?
Well, maybe, but I'm trying out the technique.
Okay, right. We'll stick to the technique.
So it appears to be working at this point. I mean, she's doing the things that you're asking.
Well, yeah, and after the Post-it notes, I realized, like, okay, I can sort of just sit down and talk to her now. So I said, hey, we should hang out sometime. And
then she was like, yeah, but my schedule's pretty busy picking up things from the store for you. I don't know if I will have time to go out with you.
Well, she said yes, so, I thought it was working.
Okay.
What'd you guys do?
So I had this idea. I thought it was a pretty creative idea because I don't have a lot of money. I'm taking these classes. So I figured we would go to 7-Eleven and do sort of like a cheap wine tasting.
Dude, that's awesome. I give you lots of points for that.
Wow.
Thank you. I thought it was kind of clever. So we bought all these like $5 wines, and then we took them to the park, sort of nearby, and we tried out these wines, and we were laughing, and we were talking about true crime podcasts. We both listened to them, and we were sort of really connecting.
And then you're like this Carlo Rossi and Boone's Farm. I mean, the notes are really amazing. Very oaky.
Would you like a mad dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not wine experts, but that was sort of the fun.
Yeah, totally.
And then she said she had to get going. And so I walked her to the bus and gave her a hug, and, that was it. But I thought, okay, that went pretty well.
Okay. All right. And have you guys talked much after that?
We were texting for a while, and she sort of stopped responding to me, but she said, like, hey, I'm going through a difficult time, which I wasn't really sure what that meant. And then it started happening that I was in class, and she would stop sitting near me. Maybe she thinks, who is this guy taking me out to 7-Eleven? This guy clearly isn't going places,
I don't think that's what she meant by a difficult time. I mean,
yeah,
it sounds like she's going through some stuff and just maybe doesn't need a relationship right now.
I mean, maybe, but it sounded kind of like an excuse because, like, if we actually did connect, then I don't know why she would sit farther away from me.
Yeah, it doesn't really explain why she would not want to even be around you, if that's what it looks like.
Yeah, and I can take her on a real date, but anyway, I need your help to sort of figure this out. I'm really hoping to get a second date because I really liked her.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll play a song and then come back and call her and get your second date update, okay?
All right, cool.
All right, man. Hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
When we do these second date updates, we always have dudes on the phone that are like, I got the perfect technique for how to meet ladies.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy on the phone today, his name is Sean, and all his email said was that he uses a technique called the Ben Franklin effect. Don't really know what that is, but I'm guessing that's you go to a retirement home and convince all the ladies there that you're the one who invented bifocals, and then they're super excited to meet you because now they can read things. Yeah. Wow, you invented that?
Sexy.
Hey, what's up, Sean? How are you?
Hey, guys, how's it going?
Pretty good. I'm interested to find out what the Ben Franklin effect is. Or unless I got it right. Did I get it right?
No, it's not quite like that.
Oh,
right. It's actually a kite in a lightning storm. Is that what it is?
No. You're close.
Okay. So you convince a woman that you are Ben Franklin's ghost and that they must sleep with you in order for you to finally be put to rest?
I mean, you are
I would take that.
This is a real technique. I learned it from this blog, but it's a really legit thing.
It is.
Okay.
So, wait, this is the first time you tried the Ben Franklin technique?
Yeah, I mean, other people have tried it before. I didn't invent it, but yeah.
Okay, well, we'll get to what that is exactly in a second. First, let's find out about the girl you want to call today. What's her name?
Her name's Erica.
Erica, and how did you meet Erica?
We're actually in the same class together. I go to the night school at the community college.
Cool.
She sits next to me a lot of the time, and she's beautiful and really smart. And
oh my God, do you get so excited when she actually sits next to you in class? Like, here she comes. She's going to sit by me. I don't know.
Is it middle school or college?
yeah, of course I do. And that's why I thought I could try out the Ben Franklin effect on her, because I read about it and I thought maybe this would work.
Okay.
So basically you ask a girl to do something for you, and she does it, and subconsciously she then likes you more, and she's more open to you. She's receptive to you. And Ben Franklin apparently used this with his rival inventors or something to get them to like him more.
So he'd be like, hey, can you pick up that paper I dropped? And then they would do it, and all of a sudden, subconsciously, they like him more because they did something for him?
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
So what did you ask her to do for you?
I sort of planned this out, I have to admit. But the first thing I did was I dropped a pencil in class, and I said, hey, Erica, would you mind picking that up? And she did. She picked up the pencil. Right? Okay, all going according to plan.
And then you winked at her and you're like, now you want to sleep with me, don't you?
I mean, it wasn't that effective.
Oh, okay.
Pencil isn't a good analogy there.
Well, I had to stick with it, right? So then the next week, I said something like, hey, Erica, would you mind if I borrow some paper? And she's like, sure. And she ripped out a paper from her notebook and she gave it to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. The next week, I said, hey, Erica, if you happen to be at the drugstore this week, would you mind picking up some Post-it notes for me?
What? Now you're
So you
having
actually
her run
remember,
errands
you actually asked her to grab you some Post-it notes from the store.
Did you give her your grocery list the following week?
No. I mean, I actually needed some Post-it notes, and she looked at me really funny.
Of course.
But I said, no, I'll pay you back, and my schedule's just been crazy, but I'll pay you back. And she did it. She got me the Post-it notes, and she brought them the next week.
But don't you think, I don't know that she likes you more. Doesn't it say that she liked you to begin with if she's willing to go think of you and pick up Post-it notes?
Well, maybe, but I'm trying out the technique.
Okay, right. We'll stick to the technique.
So it appears to be working at this point. I mean, she's doing the things that you're asking.
Well, yeah, and after the Post-it notes, I realized, like, okay, I can sort of just sit down and talk to her now. So I said, hey, we should hang out sometime.
And then she was like, yeah, but my schedule's pretty busy picking up things from the store for you. I don't know if I will have time to go out with you.
Well, she said yes, so, I thought it was working.
Nice.
Okay.
What'd you guys do?
So I had this idea. I thought it was a pretty creative idea because I don't have a lot of money. I'm taking these classes. So I figured we would go to 7-Eleven and do sort of like a cheap wine tasting.
Dude, that's awesome. I give you lots of points for that.
Wow.
Thank you. I thought it was kind of clever. So we bought all these like $5 wines, and then we took them to the park sort of nearby, and we tried out these wines, and we were laughing, and we were talking about true crime podcasts. We both listened to them, and we were sort of really connecting.
And then you're like this Carlo Rossi and Boone's Farm. I mean, the notes are really amazing. Very oaky.
Would you like a Mad Dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not wine experts, but that was sort of the fun.
Yeah, totally.
And then she said she had to get going. And so I walked her to the bus and gave her a hug, and, that was it. But I thought, okay, that went pretty well.
Okay. All right. And have you guys talked much after that?
We were texting for a while, and she sort of stopped responding to me, but she said, like, hey, I'm going through a difficult time, which I wasn't really sure what that meant. And then it started happening that I was in class, and she would stop sitting near me. Maybe she thinks, who is this guy taking me out to 7-Eleven? This guy clearly isn't going places,
I don't think that's what she meant by a difficult time. I mean,
yeah,
it sounds like she's going through some stuff and just maybe doesn't need a relationship right now.
I mean, maybe, but it sounded kind of like an excuse because, like, if we actually did connect, then I don't know why she would stay farther away from me.
Yeah, it doesn't really explain why she would not want to even be around you, if that's what it looks like.
Yeah, and I can take her on a real date, but anyway, I need your help to sort of figure this out. I'm really hoping to get a second date because I really liked her.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll play a song and then come back and call her and get your second date update, okay?
All right, cool.
All right, man. Hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
If you're just joining us for today's second date update, Sean is on the phone and he wants to call a girl named Erica. They actually are in class together and they went out on a date to 7-Eleven. They just bought a bunch of stuff, went to a park and drank some really crappy alcohol. Yeah. But he says it was a great time. And then she left, gave him a hug. But since then, apparently she said she's been going through something and she won't even sit next to him in class. So he's confused why she doesn't want to hang out with him again. Hey, Sean, since you guys are like in class together, have you tried maybe, pulling out the chair for her and then pulling it all the way out when she's about to sit down so she falls down, or maybe like going out and getting on the teeter-totter and, getting on one side and then just getting off so that she slams down on the ground? That seems like a good, effective way to do that in that situation.
Yeah, it's cool crap.
Show her you like her. Yeah, maybe throw some paper at the back of her head while you're in class, something like that.
Cut her ponytail off?
Yeah,
like, where are we going to
It was not like that. I think we're a little too old for that.
I don't know. Give it a shot, man. All right, I'm about to dial her phone number right now. Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right, well, here we go.
Hello?
Hi, is this Erica?
Yes, this is.
Hey, Erica, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. It's a radio show.
Oh, okay.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm not too bad. Thank you for asking. You wondering why a radio station is calling you right now?
Yeah.
Okay, I figured you might be. I'm calling you today because we got an email from one of our listeners about you.
Oh.
His name is Sean.
Oh. Okay.
You ever heard of a second date update before?
I mean, I've heard of it, but I don't know about it.
Okay.
So you guys are the ones who do that?
Yeah, we do that on the show. What it is where if you go out on a date with somebody and then end up not wanting to see them again after, they can email us and we'll get you on the phone and ask why. So Sean emailed us because he's confused. He says that you guys had a great time together, but now you're not really talking to him and you also don't even sit in the same area as him anymore in your class.
Yeah.
Okay, and Sean is wondering if he did something wrong on his date.
No, he didn't do anything wrong on the date. The date was really fun. We're both students right now, and obviously funds are short. So he had this idea. He's like, we're going to do a wine tasting.
Yeah, he told us all about your date. And it sounded like kind of like a fun thing to do. Even if you weren't broke, it just kind of sounded fun and quirky. But
I love wine, and I even want to do it. I'm like, that actually sounds like a great idea that I will be doing this Saturday night.
Did he do something?
No, he didn't do anything. I'm going through a really difficult time with something in my life right now, and I have some drama going on, and I needed time to not date or like have someone texting me every single day.
Told him, he told us that you texted him and you're going through a difficult time. I'm like, dude, give the woman some space.
Yeah, and like he's very sweet, but he just kept persisting and kept on bugging, and it's like I have some drama going on with my girlfriend, and he like wouldn't back off, and so that kind of turns me off. It's like, can you just listen and respect my wishes?
Okay.
So probably us calling you for him is even sexier.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you have something serious going on. I don't want to really like keep prying about that because I don't want you to treat us just like you did him and stop talking to us. But would you mind at least like maybe telling him that this is the reason you're not talking to him is because you're dealing with something right now?
But she already told him that.
Yeah, I guess, when I see him in class, I could just tell him then,
Yeah. Or you could do it now because he's actually on the other line listening and wants to talk to you. What do you think about that?
Wait, what?
Surprise.
Yeah. Sean is on the other line listening.
Are you serious?
Not bugging
Yes,
you
I
at
am.
all. Yeah.
Hey, Erica.
Sorry.
Hi. You just don't give up, do ya?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be weird or anything, but I want to know what's going on in your life. I mean, I care for you, Erica, and I'm worried about you.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that, but, I'm just dealing with enough from my friend and my mother.
Yeah, no, I get that. It's just that I haven't heard from you in a while, and I really do care for you, Erica, and I want to be here for you. You know what I mean? I want to know what's going on with you.
Erica, are you annoyed by this, or do you think it's sweet? Where do you stand right now?
I understand that his intentions are pure, but I'm going through the worst thing ever right now, so...
Well, it's like, don't you want to respect her boundaries? Like, she's obviously set them.
Yeah, of course. The last thing I want is for you to feel uncomfortable, Erica. I'm a really good listener. So if you ever do want to talk about it, I'm here. I just want to let you know that.
I mean, he's a really good listener who doesn't understand that you already told him that you had something going on in text message and that you weren't available for a relationship.
Can you just tell me, Erica, is it a death in the family? Because I understand what that's like.
No, it's not that.
That's good.
Okay. I'm glad that no one died or anything. Is it like your parents got divorced?
Sean, I think the point is she doesn't want you to press her into talking about it.
You're just going down the list of possible scenarios.
Look, okay, fine. It's just my best friend, who I've known since I was 2 years old, is getting married, okay? And I'm also very close with my mother, and my best friend has been close to my family for years, like family vacations together and everything. And she didn't invite my mom to her wedding, but she invited our other friend's mom, who she's only known for 5 years, to the wedding.
What?
Oh.
That's what you're going through?
Wait, your mom didn't get an invite to your best friend's wedding? I mean, I'm not trying to downplay your problems, but that's the big thing that you're dealing with?
Yeah.
Do you know, like, how insulting that is? To my mother? Like, she's been a part of the family for years, and then she didn't invite my mom to the wedding, but she invited our other friend's mom. So there, Sean, now you know. Now you know what you've been pressing me about, and I hope you feel good about yourself.
Wait. You told me that you were going through a difficult time in your life. Like really difficult.
Yeah, this is difficult. It's a very difficult time.
But I just want to get it straight. Your mom wasn't invited to a wedding?
I like how we're all repeating it.
I know.
No, hey, you got to be fair, though. I mean, everybody deals with things differently, and this is hard on Erica.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I totally get that, and I understand, and I just want to be here for you. But that's kind of silly, right? I mean, that's kind of...
What? Excuse me?
Yeah.
It is not silly. Imagine that you were going to go to, like, your best friend's wedding, and then your dad wasn't invited. You know, like, you'd probably be upset about it.
Well, yeah, maybe for like 2 minutes, but I was expecting something a lot more devastating than that.
Well, I'm sorry that my version of devastation doesn't meet your standards, okay? But I'm actually going through something really difficult right now. And this is exactly why I didn't tell you, is because I knew that you wouldn't understand, and now here you are, like, giving me shit about it on the radio.
Okay.
Like, who does that anyways, okay?
I get it. I'm sorry. Okay, I get it.
I get it. I get it. Oh, my God. Hey, but you know what? Lucky for you, Erica, that this is the worst thing you're dealing with. You live a very charmed life.
What's that supposed to mean?
Yeah,
I just think
I think
that,
it's supposed
if
to mean
that's
that, you know,
the,
that's
worst
like,
thing,
yeah.
then good on you.
This is a big thing. Why is everyone treating me like this isn't a big issue? Like this isn't a big deal or something, okay?
No.
It is.
I agree with you, Erica. This is the worst thing happening in the world right now. I can't believe it.
At least Jubal understands.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. You're all sitting there laughing, and you're not even thinking about my poor mother who's sitting at home all by herself, crying every night, wondering what she did.
No, I feel you. I feel you. There's like a Saturday out there where your mom doesn't have plans and other people do. I feel you. That is horrible,
I'm
Erica.
starting to feel bad. I am. I'm starting to feel bad for you. Oh, my God. Erica, it's just perspective. That's all we're saying. Get some perspective here.
Here's some perspective. You guys are all assholes, okay?
Whoa.
Bye.
No.
Did she hang up?
I think she's gone. I think she's gone.
Oh, man.
Oh, my
Hey,
God.
Sean, I didn't even get to ask, but I'll just do it now since
Oh,
she's
my
not
gosh.
here. Would you like to go out with Sean on a second date, Erica? We'll pay for it.
Date to the wedding?
She's not answering. I think that's a no, Sean.
Oh, Sean.
Wow.
How are you feeling right now about that?
I'm sort of having a difficult time deciding this now. It's kind of weird.
It is. I agree. It is weird that her friend wouldn't invite her mom to her wedding.
I know. What is up with that?
Horrible, Sean.
They, like, grew up together.
Yeah, I feel like maybe she's a little too dramatic for me. I'm not going to lie.
What? Did you hear what she said, Sean?
Maybe.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
It is always a good sign when you continually ask somebody out and they constantly say, I'm busy.
That's not a good
and
sign.
then never try to make an effort to go out with you. That's always a plus.
Yeah, it's good. That's good, Jubal.
That's what's happening to David, who wants to call a girl today for a second date update. They met on Match, had a good time. But apparently, every time he asks her out now, she just says, I'm busy. And then doesn't go like, I'm busy, but we could do this. It's just, I'm busy.
I hate that.
That's what you're getting, right, David?
That's right.
Yeah, David, you're not one to read signs or take hints very well, are you?
You know, every once in a while.
Tell us a little bit about the girl you want us to call first.
Well, her name's Alyssa, and we met on .com.
Okay.
Yeah. She's really cool. She was funny. She was cute, all that stuff. So we ended up meeting up and going out for drinks for a happy hour, and we had a good time,
Was the conversation good? Everything normal? Did anything strange happen? on your date?
No, not at all. It was actually a really good time. You know, we were just sitting around drinking and then got on the topic of liking to try new things, how we both like to do that, and started ordering each other drinks that we never had before. And, of course, that went well. Nobody got sick or anything like that.
How much alcohol was consumed? Because
It was only like 3 drinks apiece.
Okay, that's not too bad.
You know, I had like our initial drink, and then she got me something like a blue Hawaiian and an Alabama Slammer, and I got her a Midori Sour, and she'd never done an Irish car bomb, so she got a car bomb.
Yeah, you guys kept it classy on your date, didn't you?
Is that all that you did, was go to happy hour and do the, like, hey, try this drink thing?
Well, you know, you do that pretty quick in an hour. Yeah. You can have dinner, so we got pretty drunk pretty quick.
Yeah.
And, realized it was probably a good idea to slow down there.
Yeah, maybe order some food, too.
Right.
At the end of your hour of drinking, what did you guys do? Did you go get something to eat, or?
Well, you know, you can't always do drinks and dinner on a first date.
I'm just
Maybe
thinking,
a good idea to combine the both.
Yeah, I'm thinking you needed something to sop up the alcohol.
Yeah.
That second date idea, I can't do that on first.
Oh.
I don't have a lot of ideas. So first date drink, second date dinner and drinks.
Well, it's not like you were slamming down bottles and bottles. You each had like 3 or 4 drinks each. You weren't completely hammered,
Jubal,
right?
not everyone's a raging alcoholic like
I
you.
know, 3 or 4 drinks, you'd probably still be okay.
In an hour?
Yeah.
I felt good.
Okay.
David, can I ask, when you made plans with her the first time, was it hard? Was she always, quote, quote, busy, or did she have a lot of free time?
No, she was really open for it.
And
the
did
first
she give you any indication on her date that she has like a really busy schedule or a crazy job or anything like that?
You know, not really. You know, it seems like she's. I'm going to be honest. We really didn't talk about with each other what we both do for work.
How'd the date end with her? Did you guys make out?
No, we didn't make out. I was a pretty smooth operator. I got a kiss on the cheek.
Okay,
that's not smooth, David.
Yeah.
That's
Not
like
at all.
That's a friend peck, dude.
No. That was a gentleman peck. It was a nice hug. It wasn't a side hug. Regular, good, lingering hug, and a kiss on the cheek.
David, I'm just gonna say, throw it out there. Anytime I've ever told a guy or even a friend that I'm busy, it's because I don't want to hang out with them.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm busy and I make plans, like alternate plans, then it means, yeah, go for it.
Well, she still responds. Like if I text her or send her a message on Facebook or anything, you know, she's still responding. She's not like completely blowing me off.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm confused as to.
No.
I've been in that position where I said I'm busy, and then I just don't respond to text.
Yeah, but some people don't do that. Like, I know for me, if I tell somebody I'm busy and they keep doing it, like, eventually I'll break down and still respond to them, and then they'll be like, okay, so let's go out. And you're like, no, I'm still busy.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you, but you just keep bugging me, so I will answer.
If you like a guy, you make time. That's all I'm saying.
Guy or girl?
Yeah, well, I mean, like, if she is blowing me off, I would like to know the reason why.
Okay.
Since we're calling her, because to me, we had a really great time.
Okay, well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, okay?
Cool, thanks.
If we're not too busy. Hang on, all right?
All right.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Hey, David?
Yeah.
We were going to do your second date update, but honestly, something just came up. Can we make the phone call for you like next week or something? I promise we'll get around to it. If you're just tuning into the second date update, I'm telling David that because the girl that he wants us to get a hold of keeps giving him the I'm busy treatment. Not I'm busy, we could maybe try next Thursday when I'm not busy.
Yeah.
Just I'm busy, which usually means I don't want to see you.
Yeah.
So we're about to call her and find out why. They met on Match, went out for happy hour, had some drinks, maybe too many drinks, I don't know. And he said everything went well, so he doesn't understand why she would say that she's busy and doesn't want to see him again. But she is responding to like all of his texts and everything.
Yeah, to be nice, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
David, I mean, you got a kiss on the cheek when you left. Was there any talk then of seeing each other?
I don't remember, to be honest.
I'm going to go with no.
All right. You ready to give her a call?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Alyssa, please?
Yeah, this is Alyssa.
Hey, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. I'm moving 92.5.
Really?
Yeah. What's going on?
This is really weird.
Do you listen to our show?
I catch it once in a while. In the morning, I kind of have to focus on like hard news stuff just so I'm ready for work. But
I like to think of us as hard news. We report on the hard-hitting
no,
things.
I mean like all like solid news, like nothing but news. I would so much rather have a good some good music in the morning, but it doesn't really work for.
Oh, well, yeah, you want good music. You're not coming to the right place by listening to us. I'll tell you that much. We do have music. I mean, whatever. All right, Alyssa, listen, I'm calling you because you recently went out with someone else who listens to our show, and they wanted us to get a hold of you.
So this is like a social call?
Yeah.
I like that name
It
for
is.
it.
It's a social call.
Brooke and Jubal's social call.
Or a second date update, as we like to call it. It's where if you go out with someone and you end up blowing them off, they email us to call and ask why. David, who's a friend of the show, feels like you've been giving him the runaround, just telling him that you're busy. Are you really busy, or do you actually want to see David again?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question.
It's not that interesting. You're just trying to be nice.
Yeah. You don't want to see David again, do you?
No, I mean, I guess he told you. What did he tell you?
He said you guys went out for a happy hour, started talking about things you haven't tried before, and then were suggesting drinks to each other and had a few drinks, and he said he got a kiss on the cheek from you. That's a big deal,
Wait,
right?
He said we had a few drinks. We had a lot of drinks.
Okay.
He said you had...
There was like a lot of drinking. It was like I was feeling really buzzed.
Okay. All right. So you were pretty drunk on the date.
Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing that he was too. I don't know.
Did he do something weird then, or did he, try to make a move on you, or?
No, I mean, it was fun. We were like talking and laughing and trying these drinks, and then we were just talking about stuff from the past, and it was kind of awkward because he said that a long time ago he got in trouble with the law in another state, which is kind of a strange thing to say.
Did he tell you what he did?
No, there must have been a weird look on my face because I think he kind of caught himself and he just tried to play it off like it was no big deal, oh, he just, he said something like, oh, I was kind of wild when I was younger.
Oh, okay.
That really stuck with me, what he said, and I just...
But you don't even know what he did, though, because he never told you what he did.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly, and that's why I didn't know what to make of it. So I was talking to my friends about it, and they're worried about safety and stuff. So they're like, look, you should really do a background check just to be safe. Anyone can go online and, put up a profile. You don't know who this guy is.
So did you do a background check?
Yeah.
You actually paid to have a background check done on him.
Yeah, I mean, it's not
That's okay.
that expensive. I was really surprised by what I found out, and that's why I haven't said yes to a second date.
What did you find out?
Well, he was basically like a serial arsonist.
What? He was lighting things on fire?
A serial arsonist?
Whoa!
Like how bad? What?
Well, I don't know all the details. You don't get every single everything. But when the information came back, it just was like he set things on fire, more than once.
Wow.
That's intense.
How many counts of setting things on fire did he have?
This mentioned 4, and there were allegations about a 5th. I guess that wasn't proven.
Wow. Now, Alyssa, we did this phone call for him to find out why you weren't calling him back. Now I'm scared if things don't go well, he's going to burn my house down or something.
Seriously?
I'm worried for her.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that.
Alyssa, I know you probably never want to talk to David again.
Yeah.
But I should tell you that he's actually been on the other line this whole time listening to everything you said.
Hey.
Okay, this is really awkward. I don't even know what to say now.
First of all, that is really weird that you would do a background check on me. I can't believe that people actually do that.
Don't deflect.
Second, how can you have a complaint that I did a background check? There was something to find. That seems to be more the issue.
Yeah.
You could have asked me in the first place.
I did ask you after you mentioned that you got in trouble with the law and you blew off the question. You kind of just shut down and obviously didn't want to answer it. So I did try that.
I don't really care about you talking to each other right now. All I want to know is, David, are you really a serial arsonist?
Serial arsonist is a really strong way to label it. I set a couple old cars on fire in a shed
in the woods.
Why? Why would you do that?
We were just kids goofing off. It's not like someone lived in the shed. It's not like it was like a car in someone's driveway. There was just some old stuff out in the field, and we set it on fire.
I don't know that I feel better about that, David.
Sadly, I can see where David's coming from.
Really?
Sometimes you just want to light things on fire. At least it wasn't like houses or anything like that.
Animals.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like I did it because I was crazy. We did it because we were bored, and it happened to belong to somebody, which we didn't know. And then, I got told to the cops.
Buildings usually do belong to someone,
And
David.
cars.
How much time did you serve?
I just finished high school. I was like 18. I was supposed to serve 2 years, but I was out in like 6 months.
Nice.
Not nice. None of this is nice. She does not.
That's all you get for burning down a couple cars? So you served 2 years in jail for arson.
I was supposed to serve 2 years. I was done in 6 months.
You were done in 6 months. So, Alyssa, he's not that hardened of a criminal. He was
come
only in jail for 6 months.
Silver lining, good behavior.
Does that make it any better, Alyssa?
I'm really, really uncomfortable.
I don't blame you at all.
Yeah.
Look, Alyssa, I was just hanging out with some bad people and made a stupid mistake. And I learned from it, and I moved away from there. I'm in a new state. I started a new life. I haven't had any other problems with the cops, not even a speeding ticket.
I think people can change here.
How old are you, David?
28.
And no problems in the last 10 years.
That
Come
was
on, you guys.
Yeah, it was 10 years ago, Alyssa.
Everybody makes dumb mistakes when they're young.
4 times?
It doesn't matter how long ago it was. I don't want to date someone who was in jail.
I think that's an
that's-
okay standard to have.
I don't think so.
I
think
really do.
you got to try a felon at least one time in your life. That's what I always say. That's what my grandma told me, and I listened. But so Alyssa, we can't convince you to go out on a second date with David. We will pay for it.
I'm not the right girl.
David, I'm sorry you did not get your second date. But at least you know why Alyssa's been telling you that she's busy.
Yeah, that's a plus.
Yeah, she doesn't want her property burned down.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.